Hey, you know how we start this? Good morning or evening, fam. Here's your friendly announcer. I got some serious news to pass on to everybody. Now, this news that I'm about to pass on today was some stuff that really disturbed me. So my rant, let me first of all thank you for being there. And this is what I call my rays of light segment and my rant for the day. I got three things that I really want to touch on real quick because I know I don't got a lot of time. However, these are three things that I think pretty much tripped me out this week. And I was like, okay, I got to address it. The first one is straight out of some kind of sci-fi movie. And I think this is interesting for all of us as U.S. citizens. And the headline for this one was U.S. using fake cell phone towers on planes to gather data. Did you hear me? It's just been revealed. I mean, to navigate this terrain of madness in America, you really got to have a serious SUV. And I mean a spiritual SUV. But again, this says that the U.S. is using fake cell phone towers on planes now to gather information. There goes some more serious wiretapping. And I really take offense to this because, again, the FBI did wiretap my phones on more than one occasion, twice. And both of them were for criminal activity that did not take place. But I just felt so violated that these people had been listening to my conversation. So I've never been one to, condone or think that, it's cool to, pretty much snitch and pretty much eavesdrop and be a crook and listen to somebody's freaking telephone conversation. I didn't think that Donald Sterling should have lost his team because of a private conversation that he had for somebody. And I know y'all gonna get mad at me and call me all kinds of times. I really don't care because I think with my intellect and not with my emotion, if you was to go and see how many owners would talk like that, like Donald Sterling, it'd probably be 90% of them. But we so reactionary, of course, that we're gonna have a fit because this damn man, which is pretty much a smoke screen, for him to lose, he'd been a racist. The league been knew he was a racist, and for him to lose his team on a private conversation, I think was a tragedy. It was a travesty, and that's how I feel about that. So let me go back to the story. An agency of the U.S. Department of Justice is gathering data from thousands of cell phones, including both criminal suspects and innocent Americans, by using fake communication towers on airplanes, the Wall Street Journal reported on Thursday. The program is run by the U.S. Marshal Service, and it began its operation in 2007 and uses Cessna planes flying at least 5 major airports and covering most of the U.S. population, the newspaper said, citing people that are familiar with this operation. And of course, they didn't leave their names. But the planes use devices made by Boeing Company that mimic the cell phone towers used by major telecommunication companies and trick mobile phones into revealing their unique registration data. The devices, nicknamed dirt boxes, can collect information from tens of thousands of cell phones in a single flight, which occur on a regular basis, according to those with knowledge of the program. It said a Justice Department official would not confirm or deny the existence of such a program, saying that such a discussion would allow criminal suspects or foreign powers to determine U.S. surveillance abilities, but that the department agencies comply with federal law, including by seeking court approval. One of the program is similar to one used by the National Security Agent, which collects the phone records of millions of Americans in order to find a single person or a handful of people. Damn. I mean, the journal cited the people familiar with the program as saying that the device used in the program decides which phones belongs to suspects and lets go of the non-suspect phones. Although it can interrupt calls on some phones, authorities have made software changes to make sure it doesn't interrupt anyone calling the 911 emergency number. So that kind of explains all these dropped calls you be getting sometimes. Okay? It also bypasses telephone companies, allowing authorities to locate suspects directly. People with knowledge of the program said. The journal was also quoted Christopher Solgain, hope I didn't screw your name up too bad, chief technologist at the American Civil Liberties Union, is calling it as a dragnet surveillance program. It's inexcusable, and it's likely, to the extent judges are authorizing it, they have no idea of the scale of it. The newspaper said it was unknown what steps are being taken to ensure data collected on innocent people is not kept for future pursuit by authorities. Now, the fact that they have your phone conversations and they make it no secret and they got planes flying over that's bypassing the actual telephone company's towers and snatching your information is, to me, just an, uh, a serious feeling of being raped. I mean, and it's horrible. Big Brother is everywhere. He is watching you. So you are not going to get away from Big Brother in no shape, form, or fashion. I thought that was a very disturbing story. You know, uh, you know, it I don't know what the end game of this is. It's just very, very disturbing that the U.S. has the ability now to bypass. I mean, they're doing everything. They are doing everything, and we are spending so much time spinning our wheels on stuff that really don't matter. That's something else that gets swept under the rug. In fact, I contend that while they're doing things like this that people are not paying attention to because they're watching Keith Chief or Desperate Housewives or Love and Hip Hop, and what's happening is you being bombarded with a bunch of reality shows to keep your mind, crazy on stupid stuff, while the powers that be are doing things like this, and they keep you distracted with this kind of craziness. They're keeping us distracted with this mundane type of information and TV shows while they're running amok with our lives. I think that's really, I mean, it was really a disturbing story for me. I didn't like it, and every time I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm on the phone, and you know what I'm thinking? What are they listening to me say now? What are they hearing now? Okay, so they got you going, and they got us going, and they got us coming. Yeah. So that's that on that story. What y'all think about that? You can hit me up at any one of these stories if you got an opinion. In fact, hit me up at Artists for Freedom at wi.rr.com. Again, an email. Is it? Is that the email? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. That's not even the email address. That email is not even there anymore. So just forget about it. Okay, we ain't gonna even go there. If you hear what you say, you agree with what you say, just give me a like on YouTube. That's all. That's all I ask. Okay, let's go move on to the next story, because this is very interesting, and I'm sure a lot of y'all gonna like this. White people make up 42% of the poor, but take in a whopping 69% of government benefits. And this article comes from Your Black World. Well, my boy Boyce Watkins. I'm gonna do this one more time. I want you to hear me. White people make up 42% of the poor, but take in a whopping 69% of government benefits. Okay, for all you white people talking about black people on benefits. Let's deal with this. If you pay any attention to the right wing media, then you know that folks on the right are obsessed with unraveling the safety net, mostly because they believe that the safety net benefits mostly brown and black people, correct? Right. All the candidates delighted in calling President Obama the food stamp president during the 2012 campaign. Also during the campaign, Rick Santorum said, I don't want to make black people's lives better by giving them other people's money. Newt Gingrich also famously added, I will tell black people to demand paychecks instead of food stamps. As we edge closer to Obama making some grand bargain to cut Social Security and Medicare, it is important to remember that the vast majority of people who receive government benefits are white. You hear me? Remember this. It is important to remember, no matter what you hear, don't believe the hype. Go look for the facts. And so, what, according to this, and I pretty much attest to it, because if the pie is 100%, white people gotta have 70. This is their country. This is their shit. They gotta have it all, and they leave the rest of us to fight for that 30. So that's how that works. So it says another finding of the study is that the distribution of benefits no longer aligns with the demography of poverty. African Americans, who make up 22% of the poor, receive 14% of government benefits, close to their 12% population share. White non-Hispanics, who make up 42% of the poor, receive 69% of the government benefits. Again, much closer to their 64% population share. Isn't that something? Read that again. It says that black comprise of 22% of the poor, but blacks take in 14% of government benefits. Conversely, whites make up 42% of the poor, but take in a disproportionate 69% of government benefits. Now, if Republicans cut these programs as part of the sequester of any other backdoor maneuver, their issue will be with their own base, not blacks. Although I'm not yet convinced that some white right-wingers would starve themselves, I'm not convinced that some white right-wingers wouldn't starve themselves if it meant robbing a black or brown person with a spoonful of broth. That's deep. So, this article was written by Yvette Carnell, and she's a former Capitol Hill and campaign staffer. So basically, what she's saying is they don't mind sinking a few of their own to get rid of us, because if most of them are on food stamps, and they've got this perception that the poor face looks like me, and I represent everything that's wrong in America and everything that's poor, everything that's bad. I'm begging, and I'm just a damn parasite on society. But then you turn around and look at the numbers, and it don't add up. See the hypocrisy? Wow. Check that out. Now put that in your pipe of smoking. Lastly, but not least, and I don't even know how to deal with this. I really don't. Because I'm real torn. And that is the story about Bill Cosby. And I saved that for last because it's too hideous. And it's not too much I want to really say about it, other than, the man does deserve for people to keep an open mind. It's very difficult under the circumstances. But personally, I know how people can be and how fickle they are. And, they can jump on the bandwagon of things that are not true. I remember once that I was illegally charged with something. And the FBI must have presented some information to other people that were involved. and in the campaign, and there were people that were actually lying, and I heard them on tape because I actually heard the tape of you know people's that were giving testimony, and what I did hear was people saying that I did some of the things that were alleged against me, like paying people for votes. It wasn't them, a lot of people, so to make that clear. It was actually two people. And I couldn't believe that these two people would do that. But they snitched, and they said that to protect their own butts. And I'm not even going to use the word snitch because they lied. They made up that to save their own butts. And I shouldn't even say to save their own butts. They just did it to jump on the bandwagon. So I know people, there is a nature of human beings to do that, especially women. To get some damn attention, we'll do anything sometimes. But this is a little bit smoky. It's a little bit detrimental. And so to him as a person and to his career and what he represents, there were two train of thoughts that I heard. Some person said that, even Rush Limbaugh said that because Bill Cosby is making the rounds around the country and telling black folk to be more responsible for themselves, and he's pretty much getting on their case and telling them to wake up, the powers that be that wants to stay sick aren't taking too kindly to that. So they figure we'll stop you one way, once and for all on this little tour that you're doing to wake your folks up by shutting you down. Possibility. And I don't think it's far-fetched because that is exactly how these people operate. I remember hearing that Bishop Eddie Long was warned not to let Farrakhan in his church. And for that, it was a conference for America or something that they call Think Tank of America or whatever. However, Farrakhan was invited. And the word was out that they used Bishop Eddie Long's beautiful sanctuary, but he was also told that we don't want that brother up in there. And if you associate with that brother, we're going to have to cut your funds. The rest is history. All of a sudden, there's these accusations that come out about Bishop Eddie Long and young men. So, in terms of this thing to discredit, this machine to discredit folk, once they get on you, and for whatever reason, they're not getting on. So, I think that Cosby also could be a victim of that. If he's not, I don't even know what to say. It's so disgusting. It is so freaking disgusting. And at 77 years, you don't even have to worry about if he can go to trial. Because I believe that the more this keeps picking up snow and snow and snow, and this snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger, I don't think he's going to have the heart to survive. I mean, because these allegations are so disturbing. From America's pop. I mean, the man that everybody looks at as the favorite dad, favorite father, and now to see him as a perverted person. I mean, sad thing. So I'm just gonna do this real quick and then be done with that. Another woman Cosby made a joke about Jordan women in 1969. In the recording, Cosby discusses how young teenagers like himself, when he was young, always wanted some Spanish fly because it made women fawn over men once it was slipped into their drink. He then joked about going to Spain and trying to find some Spanish fly. The joke probably wouldn't have dawned much attention if Cosby weren't facing charges that he drugged multiple women before sexually assaulting them. Um, my God. So, now that you've made a joke, what was that, 20, 69, 7, over 30 years ago, life imitates art, or art imitates life. Whichever one, this is not a good look. Cause now you got it even in your, you even got it in your act. So I thought I'd share that because it's messed up. It's messed up. And Uncle Bill, I hope to God you haven't done that because you are such a brilliant doctor. Such a you got such brilliant work. Um, Even in terms of your upliftment of black people, I'll respect that. And um, just what you represented. And I hope the allegations aren't true because if they are, Uncle Bill, it's over. It's over. It's over. Y'all get it. Anyway, like it if uh, if you get me. Make a comment. And I look forward to talking to y'all next time. Stay tuned.